Hi everyone, today we are reviewing this Asus Zenfone Max. This is the latest smartphone that Asus has announced launch in India for a price of 10,000 rupees, approximately 9999. And this is basically aimed at those users whose first priority is battery life. This device comes with a battery of 5000 mAh capacity, and for this reason this device do appear a bit heavy. It is approximately 204 grams in weight when battery is inside, right? So this is the Zenfone Max, and let's have a look at how it is, and is it worth the hype, and whether you should buy it or not, right? So in terms of design, let's talk about design. The front portion is similar to what Zenfone 2 Laser was. This is device is almost identical to Zenfone Laser in most respects, but the design has changed from Zenfone 2 Laser. This is if you turn on the back, you'll see a different design that usually used to come with Zenfone smartphones from Asus. The previous versions came with a volume rocker buttons at the below the camera here. Now Asus has switched back the power buttons and the volume rockers to one side, instead of putting the volume rockers on the top here, and putting the power button at the top here and the volume rocker buttons here. So this is your new design, which is in fact a conventional one in terms of placement of volume rocker buttons. Apart from that, you also see a change in design from the back. Before this, Asus Gen phones were usually thinner at the sides and a bit curved at the middle of the back portion. This one you can see is almost flat with the curves at the end, just near the end, right? So this appears quite smooth, and you in terms of, even though this is a plastic cover, the texture is quite smooth and it helps you hold the device easily, comfortably. So this is your 13 megapixel camera with uh, laser focus and the LED dual tone LED flash. This is your speaker grill. Apart from that, we have this micro USB port and the mic beside it. On the top you have the 3.5 mm audio jack, and on one side you do not have any buttons, as both the volume rockers and the power buttons are at one side only. Let's open the back portion and see what's there. Opening the back portion can be difficult because it is pretty tight, so take care if you want to open the back portion, right? Here you can see these are the two SIM slots. This is the micro SD card slot. These two SIM slots are both 4G, but if you put two 4G SIMs, only one of will work at 4G and the second one will switch to 2G, but you can put 4G SIMs in any one of the slots without any issues. This is the 5000 mAh battery that is the basic selling point of this Zenfone Max. And even though you can see that this can be removed, but the battery is not removable. You cannot remove the battery, and it is embedded inside. So I'll just put the back cover on. Now on the front you have the usual navigation buttons, which are physical buttons but are not backlit, so in the dark surroundings you may face a issue while operating these buttons. Apart from that, you have the usual software that powers this device, that is the Asus Zen UI on the top of Android Lollipop. Let's check out that here. In about section you can see this is for Android 5.0.2 Android Lollipop operating system. The Zen UI, as you know, comes with so many tweaks and customization, one of them being at the top of the notification. Here you can find the usual toggle switches, for example the flashlight, this one is power and boots, calculator, auto start manager, Bluetooth, aeroplane mode, location, blue light filter, vibration, Wi-Fi, etc. You can manage these individually, toggles as per your requirement. Here you can see you can add those toggles that you need, and the first four at the top will be on the first row, so you can change it to as per your requirement, right? Zenfone UI, as you know, comes with power saving mode. Here you can see the power saver, right? Here you got 5 modes: performance mode, normal mode, power saving mode, super saving mode, and customizes mode. And you can see under super saving mode you have a standby time of 250 hours. The normal power saving mode is standby 188 hours, and the normal mode, which usually is the mode when you use the device most of the time, is standby time of 108 hours. So we use this device for almost 10 to 15 days and we are quite amazed by the battery performance that it gave us. We'll just show you some of the screenshots we took for the battery performance, and we were amazed by the screen on time that this device gives. We were able to get a screen on time of around 8.5 hours or 9 hours or even more in different conditions, but on average condition you get a screen on time of 8 hours easily. So let's have a look at some of those. This is one of the instances when we got battery performance with screen on time of 8.5 hours. We have not seen this kind of battery performance in any of the smartphones we have ever tested, so it matches what you have expected. It gives you excellent battery performance, and you can buy it for sure if you want a good battery life smartphone. Here you can see at 2% of time the screen that we show of 8 hours and 25 minutes is, so almost 8.5 hours you get screen on time. This is another one. Here also you can see. Even on heavy uses, this device lasts for 2 days. When we talk about heavy users of ours, so a normal user will be getting a battery life of approximately 2 days for sure. For whatever reasons, if he is a casual user or an average user, he can use it for maybe 3 days easily without charging this device, right? So these are some of the screenshots, right, that we took with the battery performance. Getting 8 hours of battery performance is very easy, and most of the time we'll get around 7.5 to 8 hours without any issues. The only issue is that as this comes with a 5000 mAh battery and it's not a fast charge supported, so the device takes around 5 hours to charge fully. So you need to just put it for charging while you go to sleep, and it will take around 5 hours to fully charge. So but still it is the case with most of the devices, which usually takes around 3 hours to charge. So it's not a big deal, but if Asus was able to make it a fast charge with support of fast charge, it will be a good thing to have. Now let's talk about the hardware performance. The hardware of this device is approximately same as what we have with Asus Zenfone 2 Laser. It is powered by Snapdragon 4110 processor with 2 GB of RAM with Adreno 306 GPU. So in terms of performance, this device performs almost same as what we have seen with Asus Zenfone 2 Laser, right? It comes with sensors such as accelerometer, magnetic field sensor, also orientation sensor, rotation vector sensor, right, proximity sensor, and other Zen UI sensors, right, ambient light sensor included. So in terms of sensors also, it comes with pretty good sensor for a price of 10,000 rupees. Now let's have a look at the AnTuTu benchmark score that we ran. This is the AnTuTu benchmark score we already ran, and it came around 24,000 plus, which is usually the case of most of the smartphones priced in the range of 10,000 rupees, or smartphones running Snapdragon 410, right? As you can see, this is approximately 25,000 score of AnTuTu benchmark. We were able to run games pretty smoothly on this smartphone. You need to just refer to our gaming review with Asphalt 8, that you can find the link in our YouTube channel. So games run quite smoothly without much issues, but do not expect a far better performance compared to the expensive ones. This is a pretty decent gaming device if you are not playing too many heavy graphics intensive games. But you can run Asphalt 8 pretty easily on this device without noticing any drop in performance. Now going to the camera performance, it comes with the usual Asus Zen UI app with camera performance. So the camera comes with so many modes. That usually is the case with most Zen phones these days. It includes a manual mode where you can change different settings such as exposure, ISO, white balance. Even you can see the histogram. So Asus has done a pretty good job when it comes to the camera app, right? As you can see, it comes with modes such as HDR, beautification, super resolution, low light mode, night mode, depth of field, effect, selfie, panorama, smart remove, slow motion, and time lapse. The front camera is good enough for taking selfies, but if you want better pictures, you should just switch to the main camera. Let's have a look at some of the camera samples that we shot using this. So these are some of the images that we took. The images are in fact good, considering the price of the device is 10,000 rupees only, right? We'll just show you some of the images that we took. Here you can see this is one from the Taj Mahal that we took during our trip to Asus Zenfone Zoom launch, right? One thing you will though notice that it do come with a bit of noise when you have a dark surrounding or the surrounding is not well lit. So this is the case with most of the smartphones in the price range of 10,000 rupees, maybe even more heavily priced, that you get a bit of noise and color problems when the surroundings is not well lit and you are taking the shots in dark conditions, right? As you can see, there is an amount of noise in these pictures. The laser focus was pretty good in fact, and it was able to focus quite fast, and it was able to lock the focus. So this was it. The camera was a decent one. You should expect decent quality images taken from this one, and you would be happy if you are not comparing with it with expensive smartphones. The camera quality is good enough for a device of 10,000 rupees. It's not very good, but still most of the consumers won't notice the difference, right? Now let's talk about some the problems that we face. One issue that is with any other smartphone launched by Asus is the amount of bloatware that came with this device. It comes preloaded with so many additional apps that most users don't need, but it is pre-installed. But the good thing is that you can uninstall almost each of the app very easily without doing anything complex, without rooting the device. Every app on this smartphone can be installed just by clicking it. For example, if I click on this web storage, this is the Asus web storage app. We just clicked it and it get uninstalled in almost a second, right? Uninstall, finish game. So even though it comes with a amount of bloatware, but the good thing is you can uninstall every one of those unnecessary apps with a click of a button, so that's not a big deal. So that's it. That was our review for this Asus Zenfone Max. Our recommendation is you can buy this device without any hesitation if your first priority is to get a good battery life on your smartphone. The device feels a bit heavy, but you'll get used to it after using it for few days, so that's not a big deal. If you love a smartphone which comes with a battery life of more than 2 to 3 days, you should go get this one. Thank you for watching this video. See you soon with another one. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.